Welcome once again, my friends, and thank you for stopping by to listen to an old storyteller. Today we have a Filipino tale, and the title of this story is Lumabet. Soon after people were created on the earth, there was born a child named Lumabet, who lived to be a very, very old man. He could talk when he was but 1 day old, and all his life he did wonderful things until the people came to believe that he had been sent by Manama, the Great Spirit. When Lumabet was still a young man, he had a fine dog, and he enjoyed nothing so much as taking him to the mountains to hunt. One day the dog noticed a white deer. Lumabet and his companions started in pursuit, but the deer was very swift, and they could not catch it. On and on they went until they had gone around the world, and still the deer was ahead. One by one his companions dropped out of the chase, but Lumabet would not give up until he had the deer. All the time he had but one banana and one camote, sweet potato, for food. But each night he planted the skins of these, and in the morning he found a banana tree with ripe fruit and a sweet potato large enough to eat. So he kept on until he had been around the world 9 times, and he was an old man and his hair was gray. At last he caught the deer, and then he called all the people to a great feast to see the animal. While all were making merry, Lumabet told them to take a knife and kill his father. They were greatly surprised, but did as he commanded, and when the old man was dead, Lumabet waved his headband over him, and he came to life again. 8 times they killed the old man at Lumabet's command, and the 8th time he was small like a little boy, for each time they had cut off some of his flesh. They all wondered very much at Lumabet's power, and they were certain that he was a god. One morning some spirits came to talk with Lumabet, and after they had gone he called the people to come into his house. "We cannot all come in," said the people, "for your house is small and we are many." "There's plenty of room," said he. So all went in, and to their surprise it did not seem crowded. Then he told the people that he was going on a long journey, and that all who believed he had great power could go with him, while all who remained behind would be changed into animals and buso. He started out, many following him, and it was as he said, for those that refused to go were immediately changed into animals and buso. He led the people far across the ocean to a place where the earth and the sky meet. When they arrived, they saw that the sky moved up and down like a man opening and closing his jaws. "Sky, you must go up," commanded Lumabet, but the sky would not obey. So the people could not go through. Finally, Lumabet promised the sky that if he would let all the others through, he might have the last man who tried to pass. Agreeing to this, the sky opened and the people entered. But when near the last, the sky shut down so suddenly that he caught not only the last man, but also the long knife of the man before. On that same day, Lumabet's son, who was hunting, did not know that his father had gone to the sky. When he was tired of the chase, he wanted to go to his father. So he leaned an arrow against a baliti tree and sat down on it. Slowly it began to go down and carry him to his father's place. But when he arrived, he could find no people. He looked here and there and could find nothing but a gun made of gold. This made him very sorrowful, and he did not know what to do until some white bees which were in the house said to him, "You must not weep. We can take you to the sky where your father is." So he did as they bade, and rode on the gun, and the bees flew away with him until in 3 days they reached the sky. Now, although most of the men who followed Lumabet were content to live in the sky, There was one who was very unhappy, and all the time he kept looking down on the land below. The spirits made fun of him and wanted to take out his intestines so that he would be like them and never die. But he was afraid and always begged to be allowed to go back home. Finally, Manama told the spirits to allow him to go. So they made a chain of the leaves of the karang grass and tied it to his legs. Then they let him down slowly head first, and when he reached the ground he was no longer a man, but an owl.
Thank you once again for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please press that like button. Also, please help an old storyteller out by subscribing to my channel. The next story will be posted in a few days, so until then, may your story continue to be a good one.